It's all good. It gave me a second to take a stroll in the neighborhood.
Oh, in our up-and-coming neighborhood?
Up-and-coming neighborhood. Yeah, something like that. I used to live over here back in the 80s.
Yeah, that's right.
I used to live in the terrace right at the street.
Yeah. Why'd your family move out?
Well. So, yeah, it was interesting. Things were crazy. Things were wild. Matter of fact, one night, I was dancing at the community center, right? I mean, of course, I'm always dancing at the community center, but I was dancing at the community center, and I had this there was this necklace that I always wore that I never took off. And so I was dancing, and one day I was like, oh, I broke this necklace. But for some reason, it was super symbolic that something had just happened. My dancers stood around, they watched me for a second, and they were like, you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like something just happened, but I just don't know what. So we wrap it up. I start to take them home. And then I get home, and I noticed that the parking lot where I lived was all blocked off with yellow taping. I was like, what? So me, I pulled my truck up to it. I ain't see nobody, That's where I needed to be parking was right. There was one spot for me, So I pulled right up in there and I parked my car. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I didn't think that, it looked like the scene was well done, and over. So I hear this tink, 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 tink at my window. It's this officer. He's like, you can't park here, ma'am. You can't park there. And I'm like, come on. I was like, I live right here. I was like, come on. Like, what? He's like, no, you can't park here. So I move out, but then I grab my bags and stuff, and I go up to the tape, and I was like, so I gotta stand here all night too? Like, I can't go home? Like, I can't go inside the house? Like, I gotta stand here and wait for you guys to... So he proceeded to tell me, he was like, if that's where you live, I was told to let you know that you have to get up to the hospital as soon as possible. So I go up to the hospital. Harborview, right at the street.
Yeah.
Right? I see my mom up there. I see my mom, my brother, and I see my nephew. And everybody is in PJs. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what just happened? So I see my mom, and she just starts going off on me. If you were there, where were you? If you were there, I could have had the car. I was like, what? So then she goes forward, and she's like, I heard these gunshots. Bop, 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 bop. I grabbed the baby, told the dog, told Chance to come up here, stay right here, She was like scared to open the door. She said it took her like 15 minutes to even think about like going down there because she kept hearing this guy's voice. This guy kept saying, somebody please help me, I've been shot. She said that after that 15 minutes, the dude's voice, he started being like, it turned to more like a cry, and he's like, oh, I've been shot, somebody help me, I've been shot. So my mom thinks that she hears my brother's voice. She's like, Lias, is that you? And he's like, Mom, yeah, Mom, it's me. So she's like, oh, she goes over to the door. She's about to open the door, and she's like, okay, like, Lias, like, get inside this house. Like, I heard gunshots. But she, like, looks down and realizes it's my brother on the ground. And so she rushes out to him. She's like, oh my gosh, Lias, who shot you? Who did this to you? Like, what happened? Who did this to you? And he's like, Mom, they shot me, they got me, they shot me. I don't know, they got me. And she's like, but who did this to you? He's like, what I found interesting in the story when my mom was telling me is that all he could talk about was love the whole time. He could only talk about love. Like, he started talking about how he saw the light. He was like, the light is real bright, Mom. I don't know. I feel like I'm slipping. I feel like I'm slipping, Mom. And she's like, the whole time, she's like, Lias, who did this to you? Tell me, who did this, son? Who shot you? And he's like, I love my brother. You know, he starts talking about how much he loves his brother, how much he loves his sister, how much he loves his son, how much he loves everybody. He goes down the list of everybody in the family, you know. You know, when a mug talking about love on their deathbed, you know that's got to be angels present. Has to be angels present. My mom's still steady at him. Who did this to you, son? He's like, I just love everybody, Mom. I just love everybody. My brother died from bleeding to death because the ambulance took 45 minutes to get to our house.
45 minutes?
45 minutes to get 2 blocks from Harborview to the Terrace. You know that wouldn't happen today.